I've got to be honest, I'm worried about Conor McGregor. UFC 300 is coming up on the 13th of April 2024, and it looks like there's still no sign of Conor McGregor coming back to fight, and I think the reality of the situation is much darker than we realise. Just to let you know, my new tune is now out on Spotify. On my channel, fixing the white balance, I'm rich in a nice palace. Picture the high status alpha male living a life quite lavish, with a wife looking slight Spanish, mixing up pigments. You'll see the difference in the skin of my lad. He got a white dad and his genetics are quite mad. I'm a natural athlete. Anyway, back to McGregor. We all seen the boxing on the weekend. We had Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder and Dimitri Bivol all on the same card. It was a very stacked card. It was in Saudi Arabia, and McGregor went to the event, and this interaction surfaced between McGregor and Ronaldo, where McGregor looks, let's say, a little bit under the influence. He said, is Bivol on now? He's got that Eastern European style. It's very difficult to hear what they're saying. Look at Ronaldo's face. McGregor recently, he's just dead intense. It seems like his personality has almost changed. Like the intensity is being cranked up to level 100. And put yourself in Ronaldo's shoes here. It's not just the fact that McGregor is talking across him. It's the fact that he's leaning in. He's leaning right towards Ronaldo's face. It's an invasion of your personal space, if you like. So here he's talking about Manny Pacquiao. He says, I love Manny, but tell him to grow a set of balls. He said, Manny needs to grow a set of balls and fight him at a higher weight. So I think what McGregor said there is that if Manny Pacquiao wants to fight at a lower weight class, then McGregor should be allowed to grapple. So are we potentially talking about some sort of hybrid fight with mixed rules? So maybe boxing with modified rules around the clinch? He said, is Manny a man or a mouse? And look at McGregor. He just looks like he's ready to crack someone. Comparing watches, saying who's winning now, who's winning now. And someone actually tallied up the cost of both of their watches. And here you go. I'm not really a watch guy, so I'm about to butcher the pronunciation of these. Conor McGregor is wearing an iced out Chopard Tourbillon. I don't know how you pronounce that. 18 karat white gold with diamonds. And it's said that the market value is around 200 to 300 grand. And Ronaldo's got a Hublot Spirit, which is around 100 grand. But we know that Ronaldo's got more money than McGregor. So just a little bit of a pissing contest. But this video is doing the rounds because look at McGregor's face. He got veins coming out of his head. You see the vein in his neck. He's constantly all pent up with aggression. I don't know if he's angry because he can't get a fight in the UFC and the UFC keep delaying him, or he's just coked up. And I'm a big fan of Conor McGregor. He changed the game of MMA forever. That being said, who is this guy? He's always coked up. Remember that time when he came to Liverpool?
What's up, Liverpool? Welcome to the Mac Mansion.
And he was in clubs, he was partying hard, he stayed up, I think, for 2 days. He'd done a 2-day bender. Apparently he slept with some girl from Liverpool, went back to a house party, was on the coke. Well, I know the lad personally who took Conor round, and let's just say that the lad described McGregor as an animal. He's a savage. We know he likes to have a bit of fun, but is this going to be the downfall of him? Conor reminds me of that one guy on a night out where he puts his arm round you when he's talking to you, pulls you right in and spits in your ear. I hate people like that, and it's usually people who are off the face on coke. Next, we've got another video of McGregor, another interview from the same night. Let's take a look at the intensity.
I came out here to see that whistling backhand of Deontay Wilder, and I wanted to see it. I in the bet and all. You need to be changing the trajectory of the punch. If you're coming up over the top of the head, you need to come up under with the uppercut.
Well, Malik Scott was saying jab uppercut to him a lot.
Yeah, but from the open space, boom. He was waiting until they were trying to get it to throw it. but it was too little too late. He was jabbing and coming out of his stance and floaty on his feet.
Look at the veins in his face. He's so angry. I believe he's on the flaky. That being said, on a night out, I do get a little bit like this. My head goes dead fat, and I get all red, and I get veins in my head and in my neck, and I strain myself trying to talk. And McGregor might just be the same, but take a look at him here.
I always...
There,
I was going to ask you.
get the Mac back
Against
in
who?
there.
Against who, though?
The Mac has loads to offer and loads to deliver.
Against who?
They're talking money. I don't give a... They're talking money here in Saudi. The lads in the UFC aren't really talking any. So the lads here are talking money, the UFC aren't talking any. So I'm sitting here the usual, Gareth, you know.
I hate to apologise for you because you're Conor McGregor, but I have to apologise for the language. We're live on air. But that's fine. Are you talking about boxing then rather than mixed martial arts?
I'm talking about give me something, you know what I'm saying? I'm supposed to be back in April. It's supposed to be December.
Can I apologise as well? You were never the interim champion.
They've never treated anyone. No one's ever been treated for all the figures I've brought in this game. I sell more than all of them combined, yeah? I sell more than every one of them combined.
Like, I feel McGregor here. Like, I understand what he's saying. It seems like he's incredibly frustrated and the UFC aren't giving him any fights. But what troubles me with these videos is just how much in people's faces he's getting. This is the sign of someone who's usually on it. He's like, give me the fight, yeah, give me the fight. There's just this new level of intensity to McGregor that doesn't seem organic, if you like, or doesn't seem natural.
No one in the history of the fight games ever been treated the way we're getting treated at this minute, yeah? Through what I came through, to what I bring. You're gonna shoot up in floodgates for me, yeah? And I'm waiting. My patience is wearing thin on me waiting, yeah?
I always appreciate you being around the fight game anyway. Cheers, Conor.
One thing I don't like McGregor is this like dismissive attitude he's got. Like, he'll seem completely engaged with you 1 minute, and then the moment that he's done with you, he's just like, whatever. Watch the way he walks off.
Yeah.
I always appreciate you being around the fight game anyway. Cheers, Conor.
See what I mean? It's just dead dismissive and weird. And I'm sorry to say this because I'm a fan of Conor McGregor. I've even done a song about him to promote his second fight with Dustin Poirier. You can go and check that out on my Spotify. It's like a Conor McGregor anthem. But this guy, I don't recognise, because what we're seeing here is, let's say, I'm trying to think of like a nice YouTube-friendly word to describe this. POS behavior. Everyone should know what POS means.
You are about to see the notorious Conor McGregor in action. Here he shakes hands with Derek Chisora. Conor quickly realizes that he is now covered in Chisora's sweat. Conor finds a fan willing to sacrifice his shirt. That man right there is a true fan. That shirt will be worth a lot of money.
Absolute piece of behaviour, that. This goes to show that McGregor doesn't really care about his fans. Or was it just another night where he was coked up off his face and didn't realise what he was doing? So there's still no signs of McGregor fighting, and I'm caught in this dichotomy of thinking, okay, is he not fighting because the UFC are holding him up and they're not giving him a fight? Or is he not fighting because he's not ready and he's constantly coked up and partying? This is not something what a professional athlete, let alone a fighter, should be doing. They should be living their lives like a monk. What got Conor McGregor to championship status? We remember in that first documentary that he put out, The Notorious, he said, on Saturday nights when all my friends were out partying and drinking, I was going to the gym and sparring and bleeding with me training partners on a Saturday night. Now he's got a few $100 million in his account. I'm sorry to say it, but I think the Conor McGregor era is over, and I'm a Conor McGregor fan. When he comes back, I will 100% be rooting for him, even though my brain will tell me he's going to lose because he's being too inactive. We see it all the time when these fighters are extremely inactive, let alone being 3 years inactive, and then they eventually come back under the shadow of their former selves. Now, we've done a few videos covering Conor McGregor in training, and we've said he looks good. He's still got the skills, but is it enough to compete with the top echelon of the lightweight division? Let's take a look. Let's go through the lightweight division here. Who is McGregor going to fight if he does come back for UFC 300? Islam Makhachev. Well, Islam is most likely going to fight Charles Oliveira next. I'd like to see Justin Gaethje give a shot at the title because since he lost to Khabib, he's been looking really good. Dustin Poirier has been calling out Nate Diaz. We know that fight was meant to happen years ago, but it didn't. Now, that would be an incredible fight for UFC 300. Also, McGregor has lost to Dustin Poirier twice now. Does anyone really want to see that quadrilogy? Maybe if there's nothing else going on in the world of mixed martial arts, but I think we know that Dustin Poirier has got McGregor's number. Arman Tarajukian and Conor McGregor, no one cares about that. Now, Michael Chandler and Conor McGregor, that's a fight that I actually want to see, just because there's been a bit of build-up around it, but we all knew that Ultimate Fighter wasn't going to end up in them two fighting because Conor McGregor was taking his time getting back into the the USADA pool. Was that last December? I can't even remember. But we now know that McGregor's been in the USADA pool for the last 3 months. And in order to fight, you need to be in the USADA pool for 6 months minimum. So we know UFC 300 is April, which fits the timeline of Conor McGregor being able to come back to fight. How about Gamrot? Nah, no one cares. Beneil Dariush? No one cares. Rafael Fiziev? That'll be a really good fight. But once again, no one really cares. Dan Hooker could be an interesting fight with Conor McGregor. Dan's coming off a win over Jalen Turner as well. But I actually think Dan Hooker would have McGregor's number. Jalen Turner, no one cares. Dos Anjos, maybe. But I actually think the majority of these fighters in the top 15 would beat McGregor. Who do you think McGregor would beat here? I think McGregor could get Chandler because Chandler is kind of like Chad Mendes and McGregor is used to that body type when he fought in the featherweight division. But in all honesty, McGregor needs to fight someone outside of the top 15. He needs a tune-up fight. In all honesty, he needs to fight someone like Tony Ferguson. It'd be a good payday for Tony Ferguson to go out on. And it's a winnable fight for McGregor to dust off the ring rust because that is a real thing. But it's probably not going to happen. I think the fight that probably will happen is McGregor versus Chandler. If McGregor can get his act together, but the somebody is, I believe McGregor might be addicted to Odie Okikoki. Like, we already know he's a bit wild. He's a bit of a party animal. We've seen videos of him going into the toilets with random girls. Like, what's he doing in there? He's most likely having a line. And this is the thing, the interaction with Ronaldo, was he really on the coke? I mean, it looks like it, but Saudi Arabia are crazy strict on the drug control. If you're found with the flaky over there, you are screwed. You're getting your hands chopped off or something. But that's the video, guys. What do you think? Do you think Conor McGregor is struggling to fight because the UFC are delaying him and holding him up? Or do you think it's because he's addicted to the coke and he can't get his lifestyle in order? I think whatever happens, if he does come back, I don't think it's going to go too well for him unless he fights someone outside of the top 15. What do you guys think? Comment down below. Make sure you like this video, subscribe for more content, check out my music in the description, especially the Conor McGregor song. Put it on your headphones and listen to it when you're working out and it'll get you psyched up. Okay, appreciate you all tuning in. See you on the next one.